here, and I have an unboxing to share with you guys. This is from Scrap Shots. There is stuff in here that I've bought for myself, that I chose and bought for myself, and stuff in here that is design team project stuff. So let's crack into it and see what is in here. Let me, oh my goodness, it is quite full of stuff. So I'm just gonna kind of dump it all out and we'll see what we get. Okay. Hopefully stuff doesn't fall off my desk. Okay, there we go. So I think Sandy, yeah, so she's labeled some stuff as DT stuff. So as I'm pulling through, I will find all of that. Let's organize a little bit. I'm seeing a couple different collections. This collection, the book fair collection from Simple Stories, I know I bought that for myself. So I will sort of pull those out. Also the Happy Travels, I just grabbed a few bits of that one because obviously we like to do some fun road tripping and stuff in the summer. So it's always nice to grab a few new elements. And I'm gonna put my Lawn Fun stuff over here. Kind of pop that to the side. This is DT stuff. Oh, this is something fun that I wanted to give a try. So I'll show you that in a second. Same with these. I'll show you in a second. What else do I have? Oh, this was from a previous order that I had placed, and she had run out of the color that I wanted, so she sent one for me. So thank you. These are the Snap flip books, and I've decided that these are what I'm using to document our little, you know, summer fun adventures that we do every year, camping and stuff like that. Just, you know, very kind of specific to the summer adventures, and then it just frees up a little bit of space in my albums because they get pretty chunky pretty fast. So I'll pop that to the side. And oh, I think this goes here. This is for me. This is for me. So let me go through all the stuff that I got, and then we can go through my design team stuff. So I'm gonna kind of pop this over to the side. So the first thing, like I mentioned, is the book fair collection from Simple Stories. I got this for a couple reasons. A, I read books. I love reading books and documenting that and sharing that stuff with you. So this is the collection kit, and I love getting these ones because you get the papers, and then you get a lot of cut apart pieces that you can kind of use as die cuts and embellishments, and then you get the sticker sheet. So you get a bunch of stuff all in one package. So let's see what the papers are. So very much this has a school theme and a book theme. I don't think I finished explaining that. Sorry. I love getting it not only for the bookish side of things, but for the school side of things. And I'm preparing for Sarah's back to school hop, which is coming up in about a month and a bit's time. So I figured I would go ahead and grab that, and everything that's more on the bookish side I can use for my reading, and then all the school stuff I can kind of keep to the side too. So here are these gorgeous papers. I love this orange. It's very pretty. It's more, it's orangey, but it's maybe like a mustard, very, very deep mustard yellow. So that's nice. They do a lot of this sheet, and this actually works really well for school themes. So, and then the B-sides. Here is a bookshelf. I have to admit that is one of the pages that I saw that I really liked. This one's sort of like a blackboard, but it's in that dark kind of olive green. Very cool. This one's really fun with all the pencils, and then more pencils on the other side. Here we've got math kind of stuff, a little science in there. Love this color, the teal. And then we've got some stripes. They're very kind of academic with that look of like a pencil in there. Here is another nice bold stripe, and then the red on the back. And then we have our tag sheet, which is very much school. You know, to me it feels very much school, kind of academic. So that might be fun to do a little mini album documenting the kids going back to school. And then our cut apart pieces. So this one is the journal elements. So all of these pieces are a little bit different. So there is like this, for example, 4x6, and a couple of them are sort of in that 4x3, but then there's also some smaller pieces, a little label here, a little label here, that kind of thing. So just lots of fun layering pieces, base pieces, and then of course for journaling. And then there is yellow on the back. This one's the 4x3s. And it has a nice houndstooth, I think that's called. Or it's not really houndstooth, actually. It's more like a plaid. And then this one is the elements. So there's 4x4s and then 2x2s. First day, that will obviously come in handy. And then stars on the back of that one. Oh, I love this. So now I'm going to have to decide which one to use. That's always a tough decision. And then here is the 4x6s. And on the back of that one, you've got polka dots. And then here are the stickers. So as always, there are just a ton of things, from little tiny elements to larger elements, and then you have your little words and phrases and some labels and stuff. So super cute, super fun. Definitely I can already see like hit the books, could be bookish or schoolish. But you know, some of these things are very school, the apples, the globe, and that kind of thing. So I'll probably put most of this with my school stuff, and then just a few of the things like these stacks of books and stuff will be for documenting what I read. So I got the paper collection kit, and then I also have the foam phrases, which are so good for titles. And so this has like book fair and good job, keep dreaming. I love school supplies. You know, honestly, that could be a school thing, but that could just be any of us who really like to collect school supplies. The stack of books here again, this big word that says books. So that's really fun. And then I got the chipboard as well. So some nice elements in here, like the florals that aren't necessarily, you know, leaning towards anything. They just have those nice colors. Backpack. Good job. Some more books here. The recorder. And I got 2 of those. And then I also got the journal bits. So I won't open them up, but you can see here. There's just nice little labels. I really liked the labels and kind of like the library card type stuff. So I thought that those would work really good. So yeah. So a pretty complete kit that I will use for both bookish stuff and also back to school stuff. Then I grabbed the Happy Travels collection. Not all of it, just a few elements of it. So I got the 6x8 paper pad because I tend to document my travels in smaller albums and not necessarily in big 12x12 albums. So you can see there's some really nice pages that kind of could stand alone. That would be a great title page, for example. And then here is what we have. Sometimes I don't know, I stay away from some of the travel collections. I think I've said this before. A lot of them are very much flight themed, and we did recently take a flight, so you know, I could put those to good use, but I feel like in here there's enough stuff that is just sort of general travel themed, so I felt like it would work. I mean, there's a few things that have the plain on them, but I think Simple Stories does a good job of kind of making travel a general thing and not necessarily just a plane trip or a road trip or any of that. So anyways, I thought that was really cute. So I got the 6x8. I also got the foam stickers, because those are my favorite. And again, you can see they're not all super, oh, that one actually specifically says road trip, but they're not all super like flight related or like tropical vacation related, because we don't usually do those. We like to do road trips in our own country as much as we can. So I thought those were really fun. And then just to kind of round things out a little bit, I also got this one. This is the Happy Travels, just the sentiment bits. So I was mostly looking for, you know, titles and little words and things that I could pop in to help embellish some of the pages. But it's nice, I noticed in here, flipping through, like there's stuff that I can definitely cut up, like some tags and things. So this also has elements that I can use to kind of embellish and not just be base pages. So yeah. All right, so that is my Happy Travels stuff that I grabbed. Then I grabbed some of the Nature's Haven from 49 and Market. I just thought this was really pretty, and oh, hold on, I lied. As I'm going through this, I did not sort things out very well. I also grabbed the chipboard from Happy Travels. Whoops. So there you can see all the stuff that I think I use on a fairly regular basis in my travel albums. Okay. Then I grabbed Nature's Haven. This is the paper pack, so they don't bind them. They don't bind their pages. They're very thick though and very pretty. And I think you get, is it 3? Yeah, it's 3 of each design. So you get a total of 27 pages, but 9 designs. And then on the back, they also have sort of the B-sides with some nice solids. If you were using this in Project Life or some sort of pocket album, you definitely have the ability to cut these apart. I think in one of them, oh yeah, there's some full solids like that. There's one that is a bit smaller, so you could cut that apart for a little bit of embellishment if you wanted. So yeah, another one where you could cut it into 4x6s. So that is the paper pack, and I just thought to myself, these are what the larger 12x12 pages kind of look like as well. And I sometimes struggle when there's so much going on a page and I don't know where to put my stuff, and I feel like it's kind of already embellished. And so where do you kind of go from there? I mean, that's just so beautiful. What exactly do I need to do to make that even prettier than it already is? But I feel like grabbing them in this size, I can cut things apart. I can fussy cut stuff out. I could make these, you know, a layer on a larger layout. I don't know. I just feel like it's very versatile. So I went for this size. Then I also grabbed the die cut elements. So there's 73 pieces in here, and they're quite large, which is nice. So you can see all the stuff you get, lots of that sort of strawberry theme, lots of wood grains and some cute little woodland creatures. And very much that sort of like vintage look that you get from 49 and Market. So lots of text and layers of kind of textures on all of the bits and pieces. Then I absolutely fell in love with this guy. He is just the cutest, but like, look at all these super fun little bits and pieces of fence and this tree kind of wreath type thing that you could put to make a larger element. So this is the laser cut elements. So it's 4 sheets and they're laser cut and you punch them out as you want to use them. And so you have 99 pieces in here. And some are very large and some are teeny tiny. If you've never got the laser cut before, you can see how easy they just punch out. And so you just have these sheets. Whoops, this one's stuck. Some of them have such tiny detail like that. You can see that piece right there. And so you just cut them all out, punch them out as you need to, and you get a whole bunch of stuff. And each of these pages is quite full with things, from tiny little elements to those larger elements. So I always like stuff like that. And then even the back has some cutout pieces that you could use to cut out. So I got those, and then I got these adorable puffy stickers. You get 138 puffy stickers in here. Like, this isn't just your little tiny pack of puffy stickers. This is a full 6x12 and it's 2-sided. This is a ton of puffy stickers and they're really nice and kind of soft. They're not that hard puffy. They're like a nice soft puffy. And look at these cute little guys. Lots of little, you know, dots and hearts and little words and phrases and stuff. So there's a ton of stuff on these. So I'm really glad I got those. I did not expect these to be this big. Like, I am so excited. I was expecting just a normal size puffy sticker, maybe on both sides, but I did not think that they were gonna be 6x12. I am shocked and super excited. I think that that's amazing. So woohoo, I'm excited about that. All right, that is my Nature's Haven stuff. Pop that to the side. I got this cute little sketchbook. I'm a sucker for this kind of stuff. I love having little, I've shown you my collection before of my little notebooks and watercolor books and stuff. I don't know what it is. This is my thing. It's not the school supplies for me. It's this kind of stuff. I just love having little sketch pads, and even if I don't use them, it's not about using them. It's about collecting them, I guess. So these are super, super cute. You can see. So satin smooth vegan leather material for the cover. This one is the seafoam green one. And these come from Prism Studios, which is actually in Richmond, BC. So yay. And it's just this adorable little sketchbook. There is a little bookmark, so you could definitely use that to kind of note your spot wherever you are. Let me see what the weight of the paper is. Does it tell me the weight of the paper? I actually didn't necessarily care what the weight of the paper was because, oh, here we go. So it's 140, oh no, 94 pounds. So, you know, it's thick. It's not watercolor thick, but if you were really nice and light, you could probably do some watercolors in here. But I just think it makes the cutest little travel sketchbook that you could gift to somebody, or, you know, put together a nice little art basket or something, or just throw in your purse, which is what I plan to do. Throw it in my purse for our summer trip. So super cute, excited about that. Then I got this. So I love making my own little mini albums, and you guys have come on a ton of mini album adventures with me where I just kind of grab the paper, grab the supplies, and start folding and playing and see what I can do with it. But sometimes it's nice to have something like this because it gives you a template that you can follow. So you build your own. So this is what I've got in here. So hold on, let me pull it out and then I'll tell you who it's by. So this was designed by Craft Treat. I got the black one. I just like a black base. And everything comes in it pre-scored. So there you can see it's pre-scored. You have all of the instructions. So you can follow your instructions where you need to adhere things. And it even comes with a little magnet clip to close it. Everything's cut for you. So essentially you just need to go along and fold where you need to fold and follow the instructions and put this together to create a nice interactive fold out mini album. What I love about this is that it gives me the opportunity to put one together, but it also gives me the instructions that I can keep for as long as I need them, as well as the measurements on the back so that I can recreate this over and over again. And so sometimes it's great to pull something out and experiment and play and come up with my own way of doing things. But sometimes it is actually really nice just to have a template that someone has already tested and they know that it works, and I can quickly put these together and, you know, make a gift for somebody or whatever. Even using my own cardstock, just following all of the instructions that they have on the back. But because I've put one together before, I know how to get everything adhered properly, and so, you know, you can kind of quickly recreate this over and over again if you wanted to. So I thought I would give it a go. I know that there are the black background, but also the white. So if you prefer having your books be created on a white background, white cardstock, you could grab it in white as well. So yeah, I was kind of excited to grab this and try my hand at putting it together. I don't know what papers I'm going to use, but I don't know if you are seeing this and anticipating this. It might be cute to go ahead and do something like this using this collection. So we will see. You might be seeing this very, very soon. All right, I grabbed some Lisa Horton Color Shift inks. This is part of her summer collection, so everything kind of has like a summer name to it and summer colors. There are a ton more than this. When I created the ad for Instagram, I think I created 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think there's 9 colors, or 9 new, like, I'm gonna just say colors, but new pads. So these ones have a matte finish on one side and a shimmer on the other side. So they do the color shift, but they also have matte versus shimmer. So the side that has this little glitter on the actual container, that is the shimmer color. So this one is Summer Sky. So we've got blue with the green, and the green kind of has the shimmer. This one is called Lagoon Punch. So this is more of a purple, and then this like dark kind of grayish green. It is sort of green, and that's the one with the shimmer. Fruit Punch is yellow and pink, and I love that contrast. It's very summery, and the pink is the shimmer. And then this one is Coral Waters, which is just such a classic color combination now. It's been, you know, one that we've all loved for a long time. So it's got kind of the blue down here, and then this is more of that like coral colored pink, and that's the shimmer. So you will definitely be seeing these because I can't wait to start experimenting with them and playing around with them. I've used them a couple times in demos and in make and takes that Rosie has put together that I've done with her. So I'm excited to actually just get them and play around with them on my own and see what I can do with them. All right, then I grabbed some Lawn Fawn stuff. So I could not resist this one. I've been looking at it for a while. It creates the cutest little bubble teas, but you know, you don't have to add the part here that is the little pearls. You could do something else and make it like an iced coffee or whatever you want to do. So yeah, I just think it's really cute. We drink a lot of iced drinks here, ones that we make ourselves and ones that we go and grab. And so all of my kids have at least one picture of them with some sort of drink like this. So I thought it would be fun to grab that and play around with it. Then this one, of course, is to document all of the ocean and beachy pictures that I have taken over the last few years that I'm still working on. So it's got the starfish, a couple of different shells, and a little kind of coral or seaweed. So yeah, so I thought that was really cute and just a really good size that it can tuck into a pocket. It could be on a fuller 12 by 12 page, so I liked that. And then this little stamp set, which I just also thought is super adorable, and I've kind of had my eye on it for a while, but it's all about tacos, and we eat a lot of tacos here. It's one thing that everyone in the family eats, so we love to go out and treat ourselves to tacos. So we've got like taco cart, tacos, taqueria, a couple of the condiments, a little tiny jalapeno or hot pepper. There's like a small little taco. Here's a larger taco, chips, hot sauce. You are spectacular. That's really cute. The little garland here, and then some stuff that would be maybe on like a menu sign. Beef, veggie carnitas, agua fresca, churro, that kind of thing. So really, really cute. I love it. And I thought I'd probably use like tacos and maybe this little guy and some of the other things quite a bit. This one here, maybe the drink as well. So yeah, I think I'll get some good use out of that. So those are my Lawn Fawn little goodies. And then now let's look at design team stuff. So I got, this is the 12 by 12 paper pack. It comes with 12 double-sided pieces of cardstock and a sticker sheet. So like a kit essentially. I will open this up. So this is Doodlebug Designs, and it is the Be Happy collection. So here you can see all the super fun, cute colors and patterns. Very classic Doodlebug with these cute little bees with their happy little faces. So we've got some bees and some honeycomb. And then it's the same page. So that's kind of nice. I do like that you don't necessarily have to choose one side or the other. Here is the cut apart sheet. What do they call their cut apart sheet? Oh, they don't have names for their cut apart sheets. Okay. So on this one, you've got a few little labels. You could cut this as one card, or you could cut these apart and have different ones. You've got some 4x6, or sorry, that's sort of the 4x6, I guess. Then you've got some 3x4s. Then you've got these ones, which are sort of like a 3x8, which is cute, great for journaling. And then this is the back of that cut apart sheet. Here we have our adorable little flowers. They're kind of teeny tiny little flowers. I like that they're on a black background. I really feel like the black makes this yellow and makes these other colors just pop that much more. And then the back of that one is these cute little bees. It's nice to have a smaller repeating pattern too, because if you're cutting it up to make layers, you still see exactly what it is. So you're not kind of like cutting in between little bees and cutting them up. You can definitely cut a strip or two and actually see that they're bees. Then we've got this yellow with a black polka dot, and then this nice gingham plaid. This is gingham, I think. I don't actually know the difference. I make it up and go with it. So, but yeah, I like those two. Very nice kind of base patterns that you could definitely use in other places and not have to necessarily use it with this bee theme. Here's another sheet to cut apart. So we've got a bunch of strips, which is really fun and really nice here. We have tags all the way across and then some 4x4s. And then the back of this one is just this really fun polka dot. Oh, I love the green. So here is that same flower, almost more like a daisy in this case, on a bright lime green background. And then the back is another black background, which I love. With just a bit of a larger flower. So perfect. I love those. I actually am really impressed that most of the patterns are something like this. So you can definitely flex these and use them in a lot of other applications and not just within this collection. So that is really nice. It just means that your dollar stretches a little bit further, which is something we're all looking for nowadays. And then look at these cute stickers. Now they make a thick sticker, which is great. So you've got some really large elements like these. You have some strips, and then you have some smaller elements. These are all individual, yep. So you can pull these apart. They're all individual little stickers, and you have some, you know, hearts and stars, some labels. So definitely great for embellishing. And then if you added in some of those little bits and pieces that you could cut apart from those other papers, you have a pretty complete kit. So that's really fun. Then she also sent, okay, let's do this one first. So here are the little, they call them sprinkles. So these are the little shape sprinkles. So just nice, cute little embellishments. You could use this instead of enamel dots or instead of sequins, and just add in some little mushrooms, little flowers, some teeny tiny little hearts. There you go, right there. Cute, cute, cute. And then this pack, which is hefty. Oh my goodness. So this is the All the Things pack. So I won't go through all the things because there's apparently 173 of them. But I'll give you a good idea of what's in here. So lots of large words, which is great for making your titles, that kind of stuff. You can see here all those words. Then again, little strips and banners that you can use too. And then tons of these adorable little bees and animals of all different sizes. Here you go. You can see here's some pennants or banners. Lots of florals. Oh, look at this little bee sleeping in the little tulip. So cute. Have you guys ever gone down that trail of looking at sleeping bees? They are adorable, sleeping in the little flowers. Anyways, you can see there's just so many. So many. All over. And like large words, like cute home, life, and then smaller words. You know, if you need a smaller title or a subtitle, or you just need to tuck in a little, you know, word or two here or there, then there's things like little hearts. Just a ton of stuff. An absolute ton. So wow, that is definitely a very full pack and worth grabbing. Even if you don't grab the rest of the collection, this is worth grabbing just to pull elements from, you know, because everything's very cute and summery and very kind of light-hearted, and I think you could use it in a lot of different applications. The bee application to me can be used for so many different things. It definitely represents summer, but you know, bees can just represent baby, if you're doing well, pretty much anything Doodlebug, I think, could be used as like a baby album or that kind of stuff. But bees can also definitely represent family. So if you were doing a family album, family photos, family reunion, that kind of stuff, it's definitely good for that. Or, you know, a friend group. Yeah, I think that you can kind of look outside of just this sort of being really cutesy and fun, summery, vibrant colors and find a ton of other applications. You could do some work stuff with this, kind of with the whole worker bee concept. So I just think there's lots of other things you could consider. And for the amount of stuff that you get in here, I mean, I'm not going to be able to use all of this with just those papers that I have, so this is definitely going to stretch way past this. And then the last thing that Sandy sent me for my design team work is the beach vibes. So this is also from 49 and Market, and again, because I do a lot of my travel stuff in a smaller size format, I have the 6x8 collection pack. So let me pull that out. And you can see here, they always do some sort of bonus on the back, which is lovely. We definitely have that beachy theme in these gorgeous blues that kind of transition into greens, and then we have these yellows and oranges and golds. So I love this. This kind of, to me, is on par with the blues and yellows that I love, that color combination. This is the same thing. They're in the same family. So this gets me every time. So same as the other pack, you have 3 patterns, or sorry, 3 of each pattern. So you've got this side, and then you've got this side. Oh, I can't wait to use this one. But I don't have to sacrifice this one. I can use both. So that's really nice. And then here we go. So definitely like a tropical beach feel here, which is not really what all of my photos are. Some of them from this summer I think will have this feel because we're headed west. But these other sides are really fun too. And I will definitely use these because whether this is a whole page or I just fussy cut this out or I tear some strips to get that like texture, because they do such a good job of that mixed media feel to their pages where you can literally see the texture in here. So, you know, I will definitely use all of this. Here is a really gorgeous kind of photorealistic wave, but then the rest of it is just muted enough to be a little bit more mixed media feel or watercolor feel. But that wave, like look right here, this is definitely a real wave. And then the back is a beautiful wood grain. Oh, I love this. This is a feel of peeling paint. So it could be a boat. It could be on the side of like an ocean shack or house or cottage. Especially in the Maritimes, all those houses painted in the beautiful bright colors, but they're very close to the shore, and so their paint will crackle and kind of give fun textures. But then the way that this is layered is like waves, so love that. But I also feel like this would work really good for maybe if you were at the zoo or somewhere like a Victorian garden or anything like that. where there were peacocks, because you've got this kind of like peacock feel to it. So there's other applications for this for sure. And then this is like a beautiful, again, it kind of could be sand. You could read it as sand or as stone, or the patina on a side of a house or an old lighthouse or something like that. So lots of different ways that you could look at that, and you know, it brings up different images. So that one's fun. This one is a little cut apart, so you can use it as 2 4x6 cards, or this beautiful blue and the subtle lines that kind of give that wave, or the lines that the sand makes when the waves roll over them, and you can sort of sometimes see that just a little bit from above the water. So yeah. Here's another one that's a cut apart. So 2 different pieces. You could still use this as one whole piece if you wanted to. And then it's got this beautiful green. And this is the kind of green that you would often see too. It's like a seafoam green. It could be kind of like the copper patina. You could find it on boats kind of as chipping paint and stuff. So, and it has some texture that you can sort of see, or you might not be able to see it. It might not want to focus enough. There we go. But you can see it's got a little bit of texture in there too. So it could even be just like in a tide pool because of these brown elements sort of running through it, like tide pools, and you could put pictures of your little crabs and starfish and stuff in there. Here is a nice map. Everybody loves a map. It's got some planes down here, and then you've got your squiggly stripes. I know my camera doesn't want to show that to you properly. It's tripping you out. I'm sorry. Here is some surfboards. This is just a really fun colors, and again, that like weathered look to a lot of the colors too. And then here is the back. So this almost looks like the dots of like flight patterns, so like a plane on a map kind of thing. And you can just see there's a little bit of a map in the background. Again, I'm not sure. Oh, here we go. Okay. So just kind of subtle imagery, but you can read into it whatever, you know, stands out to you. Then we have some gorgeous hibiscus. And then this nice burlap. I'm calling it burlap because you can see the crosshatch in the background, but again, it could be sand, it could be whatever, it could be a boardwalk, whatever you want it to be. So those are the papers. Then I have these look like large words and some smaller little phrases and sentences, some waves and stuff like that, so like titles. So these are the chipboard words. There's 39 pieces. You can see that they're all quite large. So that's really nice. And even these strips, they're quite large. Then we have the rub-on transfers. So let me open this so you can see how many you get in here. Rub-ons are something that I don't use enough of, but since I've been getting them for design team stuff, I've been really making a conscious effort to use them up as quickly as I can. These are gorgeous. Holy moly. Look at all that fun little stuff. And they do this kind of thing quite often. I know the Christmas ones I have also had different splotches. They were not in this size though. The ones I have for Christmas, I feel like were 3 smaller, like, should we say normal sized pieces. So these are quite large. Wow. You even have like the bottom, the title is a rub-on. So if you wanted to just use this beach vibes section, you definitely could. There's lots of small elements that you could pick out just to have a few little extra touches. And then this one I love because it has all those titles and all those words and little phrases, lazy flip-flop days, the official beach bum. It has tons of this stuff, but in rub-on size. So you could tuck these into things. You could add these onto tags. There are a lot of things you could do. Hello Summer. This one says go with the flow, breeze, beach, bliss, seashells and sunshine. There's lots of different ones. Not all of them are beach in nature. Sun-kissed could just be any sun-kissed summer day, right? Flip-flop, splash could be at a pool. So lots and lots here. And then this one, which definitely has kind of a marine vibe to it. It's got this lighthouse. And it says summer at the beach. And then it has a poem, actually. And then this is also a poem. That's really nice. Wow. Yeah, I'm super impressed with the rub-ons. They're huge. That is awesome. I was not expecting that. Gorgeous. I can't wait to use those. And then, again, look at the size of these puffy stickers. They're amazing. This one has squiggly lines, so that same pattern that was in the paper, you could recreate it with puffy stickers. You've got your geo tags. There's something up above that I can't see under the lip here. Let's see, I'll pull it down. Oh, dots, tons of dots, yay. They just add such a nice little touch, right? These little circle elements are beautiful. And then here's some of those other phrases. So you could repeat the same phrases throughout your album and use them in the puffy sticker on one page, rub on in another page, the chipboard in a third page, and kind of keep some of those sayings repeated over and over again. That is really fun. And then look, whole puffy sticker strips. Guys, I'm not sure if I've ever seen that before. That is super cool. Whoa, I'm excited. I can't wait. That is gorgeous. I might have to start working on my album before we even leave. But yeah, okay, enough swooning over my goodies. I have plenty of time to do that later. You guys need to go and get to the store and scoop up all of the stuff that you see here, because this is not gonna last long. I can guarantee you the Beach Vibes collection is gonna go fast. When people actually start to see how much stuff you get in these packs, it's gonna go. And when they see these absolutely gorgeous colors, like, it's just, yeah. So run to the store on your computer, because it's online only, and grab this stuff. It is really, really gorgeous. I have a feeling this stuff, it's all gonna go fast too. So while you're there, grab this, and then, yeah, have fun finding a bunch of other treasures, because I know I definitely did, and I can't wait to get started and, yeah, use up all my goodies. So stay tuned for the Be Happy and the Beach Vibes. You guys are going to see that in a bunch of design team stuff coming up shortly, but I will definitely be creating with all of this, so you won't miss out on anything. And that is it. That is my unboxing for the summer. If you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comments down below. Hop over to the Scrapshot store, scrapshots.com, and you can grab all of this stuff that's still in the store. If you guys are local in the area, Scrapbaganza is on sale. Tickets for that are on sale, so you should definitely check out and see. I think we're about 80% sold out already. That's in September, so it's coming up really quick. Or if it's something that you want to be traveling here for, it's coming up very, very quick, and you want to grab your spot because it's a ton of fun. But yeah, that's it. That's all for me. I have to go get some scrapping done, so I will talk to you guys all again soon. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Check out all of my socials if you want to see more details on all of this stuff. Instagram, and I'm on Facebook too. And you can also check out Scrapshot's Instagram and Facebook and YouTube channel. We've started a YouTube channel that has all of the lives that they have been doing over the last few years. I've got them all uploaded there, so you can go back and check out all the different demos and things that Carla and Rosie have done in the past 4 years actually, so there's lots of videos to choose from. But yeah, that's it, that's all. Thanks so much guys, love you. Talk to you again soon. Happy scrapping. Bye.
Bye. Thanks to me. To what button? To my channel.